How is it going, guys? I thought I'm gonna switch up my intro a little bit and be a bit nicer for once. um, I hope you guys had a good time trading yesterday. It sounds like, or it looks like, I mean, it doesn't just look like, you look at it and we saw it, it was quite choppy. But now in the overnight, we are actually seeing what I had kind of told you guys, which is, we break that 2600, which we were never, especially in the second half of the day, we were never able to hold over again. We broke that into the close, and then, or now in the overnight, we are already reaching my T1. I've already covered some of my shorts here. If this keeps going like this, we should, definitely retest that 2508, 2500 kind of area next. And then if that does not hold, which I kind of expect, my next target would be that 2400 area, 2382 to 2417, for the next kind of support zone, T2 kind of thing. So yeah, I think it's kind of what I said on Monday. When you see it in a lot of stocks as well, it's that exactly what also what Corey Rosenblum mentioned in his video on Monday. It's that 20 MA rejection that's going on right now, and it's in many stocks like Apple, for example. It's actually quite perfect. It just like, honestly, I couldn't imagine a chart that looks more perfect in terms of rejecting a moving average like this. Tries to get above, comes back below, and fails. So they tried to push it up, didn't work. You see it here, and then it just failed. So yeah, we're gonna see this in a lot of the individual stocks that I have on the list today. But first, I want to mention to you guys, I know I promised you guys to do tutorials on drawing and ADD/tick. So I'll do this at the end of the lesson. So stay tuned for that at the end. But let's now look at the indexes first, and the commodities and bonds. So yes, as I said, we are right in the support zone now. What's really interesting actually is that we have broken under, and I was watching this here. It was like tons of stops going off, and then it just sold off for a bit, now it's retested that level, and now look how it's coming off. Like, we are just right now we're seeing quite a bit of volume coming in here. So I am very much expecting this 2508 test quite soon. So yeah, it's not over. Next one, gold, because of the whole market still uncertainty. I think, like, one of my fundamental reasonings is that money is going to flow back into gold, safe haven assets like gold, and the bonds. We'll look at bonds in a second. So gold has taken the dip into the 1600s, which I mentioned to you guys on Monday that where I would buy. So I bought a bit of gold here. I have a mix between stock and for longer term, and some call spreads that I put on. I still have some on from here, and I put a few more on into the close today in here, and I got filled on one in the overnight as well when it somewhere here, I don't remember exactly. And then just regarding plan, so I'm looking definitely for like a move back up here into the 1700, and perhaps even into the 1900 medium term, which I think is very plausible at this point. So next, bonds. Again, how we draw those inverse head and shoulders. Sometimes this is looking exactly like that. It fails at the level, reclaims it, holds it, and now it's moving higher. And of course, this has to do with still being a lot of uncertainty in stocks. So I got long a bit today. I felt it was a bit late, but I just I took a smaller position because of this. I kind of missed the ball on this one. I was focused on other things, and I missed to get back long here after covering the beautiful short down here. So yeah, I'm slightly long bonds. I wish I had, like taken the time to get properly long in here, but hey, that's just how it goes. So small position here for like the 187 and 189, perhaps even 190 kind of level. I think 187 I'll be fully in the money. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here in bonds. Now individual stocks. So we've just looked at Apple. This candle is like this perfect rejection candle that we want to see. As I said, with the market selling off, Apple is of course down as well, and will likely be under the 200 SMA at open. Depending on how hard we sell off, this might even open under the 14 MA here, which would be actually really cool. We would then look for like a spike into the 14 or into the like that 250 level off the open, which you could then short into, and look for a move into 240, and for that perhaps even the gap fill here down there, if this really starts speeding up again. Cisco, the next one, I really like this from a technical point of view, and let's look at the weekly for this. So we've had like this big consolidation back in 2018, which this 40 level, 41 level was kind of the bottom off, and now we've sold down below it and are now coming back for the first time to test it. And you look at this weekly candle, which is not done yet, but you look at the dailies as well, and it's rejecting the 40 nicely. So it's done what we expect to do if it closes over the 14, which went to the 30, but now it's back under, and I could absolutely see this retest those lows if the market's still weak. And this is, like, it's a tech company, but it's quite weak for a tech company. I could absolutely see the 35 happening again, like this kind of area here. So we'll see, but I really like this from a bearish point of view. McDonald's, same, kind of topic. You see I have like a few orders out just because I'm testing out a strategy that has nothing to, it's just like a mind kind of thing that I'm playing with. That's why it's super low share amount that I'm trying out here in my Thinkorswim account. But same thing, like the 20 MA as a resistance here, along with, I'm sure there's probably other levels here, technical levels we can find, of course, like see it's the bottom of this consolidation here that it bumped against and couldn't get over. So this is likely a I like this as a short very much as well. Ralph Lauren, this one popped up on my lower Celt scanner, and the only thing that I see here is the consolidation, the bounces, and it keeps rejecting, like these moving averages that are coming down, and we have like this pretty nicely established kind of support level here and here that probably also coincides on the longer term with stuff. Let's see, nothing too big. Yeah, I don't see too much in history, except for this low. where we are currently, like trading at. So this breaks, I think we have a bit of room to go as well. If you look at the weekly, so just looking at where this could go, this could probably, like go into the 50. Just have like another 10 points in the cards for this one. Just how we see this consolidation with the market going lower now. Perhaps this breaks the support and moves lower as well. Roku, as I've mentioned on Monday, there is, this one is in play, and it's right at resistance. So we shall see. I'm not too bearish in general on this one because it's not like one of those industries that, it's probably one of the industries that should profit right now when people are looking for entertainment. But so I wouldn't be super bearish on this just yet, but it put in the same bearish candle as Apple, and it's closed under the middle celt again, if I'm not mistaken, or just at the middle celt. So yeah, just keep track of this one. I think this is fighting hard right now, and whichever direction it breaks next, looking at the overnight, it's breaking lower. So perhaps this might be a nice short back into the lower celt, aka like 74 kind of area. Twitter, I had this on the list on Monday as well, and I just wanted to show you guys how this this played out. So perfect kind of like 14 MA rejection here, along with the resistance retest that we've that I've just shown you guys in other stocks as well. We see this in a few stocks now. So again, 14 MA rejection. I guess you could count this as the first test, so this might be like the second test, but this looks really good for a short as well. For 23.50 and then 22 medium term, or like next week some point, depending on how the rest of this week goes. And lastly, I think Zoom is giving us a nice opportunity soon when we get a proper setup to get into this for their next move, because like they are now consolidating after this huge influx of money, after like where they are making money right now. Even like for the company that I've just started, we are using that one for client calls as well. It's a great platform, it's a great software, and it's affordable and all these things. So watch this one for a close over the upper celt, if and then like the next day a drop into it, or like say you could watch for the break of this kind of resistance line or something like that, or you watch the 4 hour first. If it breaks over and comes back, that could be an entry or something like that. I think just this is giving us an opportunity to get long in here. All right, now let's look at my little educational parts that I thought I'd cover with you guys, based on what you guys had mentioned. So DT, I think it was who wanted to know about drawings or drawing sets and how I use them. So what you can do is see like how I have like different drawings here for the same ticker. And the way I've done this is, like, say I have these drawings here, you can go and drawings and then save as a new drawing set, and like see like I've covered this, I've saved this as ATG weekly. You would save it as a weekly one. You can save it like that, and then you can bring up like all like the saved drawing sets that you have. So I have like all kinds of drawing sets here. Some of them I'm still using, some of them I'm not using. And if you go back to default, that's where you could like experiment. You could draw something, blah 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 blah, draw something here, oh cool. and then if you are not interested in that anymore, you can either you know, clear this drawing set, everything in default goes, and now it's clean again, but you still have the drawings that you like saved in, you know, like in your drawing sets. And I think you can save that as a style as well. So see, like for example, I've made the background completely black. I have you know, a certain set of studies slash indicators that I have, and if you go now and go into style, you can save this style. Like for me, it's the daily scan kind of style, because this is what I scan and stuff like that. And you can include patterns, which I don't use, in study sets as well. And I think it also includes drawings. So that's how you could save all that and you know, like do some experimentation without, you know, like getting too much into craziness. And that's how I, you know, like I'm trying to keep my charts a bit clean, because if I had all these purple and then in the lower time frames all the blue and yellow lines in here, you wouldn't, I mean, you already don't see much, but you would see even less in these charts without all these. And now, so that's been the drawing thing. Let me close this, and lastly, let me go into make this just I saved this into one window real quick, and show you guys tick. So the way, see, like I have my alerts here. Where are you? So the way I'm actually, you know what, I'm going to show you guys my kind of trading kind of grid that I'm using. So what I have here, it's just a trading grid, but what I'm gonna do real quick, I'm gonna make some stuff a bit bigger real quick and delete the stuff that I don't need in here right now. I don't need all of this. I don't need the VIX. I don't need oil. I don't need gold. I don't need the bonds. So just from this, what do you like? This is how I've set this up. I have alerts that auto renew at plus and minus 1,000s in tick. And when you look at this, you like what you want to look for. Say, let's stay with tick for a second. There's two things that I use tick for. One is kind of the overall, you know, like where are the ticks being made. So say you let's put in a moving average, a simple moving average. Let's make it say a 20, and a thicker. So when you look at this, what you see here is that, you know, in general ticks are positive here in the morning, then in the afternoon they go a bit bearish, and then, you know, like that's how I kind of look at it as a trend indicator. So, or just this kind of a breadth strength indicator. Ticks over the zero line are usually a positive sign for the day, and under the zero line a bit of a negative sign. And it's the same thing. Oh wait, first, the second thing that I go for in tick is this is a really brief explanation, by the way, but the other thing is like extremes in the thousands. So usually 1,000 tick could be a reversal signal. So let me bring up SPY real quick, or the ES. So when we look here, the 5-minute chart, we've had the 1,000 tick here, which would coincide with, you know, like if this is the trading day, as an exhaustion, which happened here on this candle. So if we have a sell-off like this, a tick can indicate an exhaustion of the sell-off and a bounce there, which it actually signaled quite well. But then on the other hand, if you guys have looked at the tick when we were going crazy on in this sell-off here. Like there were days where ticks were just freaking hitting 1,000, minus 1,000, minus 1,000 like 10 times a day. Let's look at it. Maybe if I can see how far I can go back. Let's put this on 5 minute and make this like, okay, let's see if I can go 30 days. I can go 30 days. So let's look at this day here. See where that, what was that? That was the 12th of March. That was here, or here I think. Yeah, that was this one. So you look at this, like it's just hitting the minus 1,000 the whole freaking time, and you see like this average is just super bearish. So that's when you want to take this as a signal that okay, we are selling off today, and I'm shorting every pop. It's a similar thing if it hits the upper tick the whole time. So this is kind of the way I'm looking at the tick. And the similar thing is ADD, which is the number of advancing stocks versus the number of declining stocks. And this is just, I use this often as you kind of a divergence kind of signal, and to see where, you know, like whether a trend is changing or something like that. So for example, today, I remember, I think I was up around here. I came up around here. No. I remember clearly that I called out a divergence for you guys, and that maybe it was here. I thought it was here. Maybe it was here. So I got up. Yeah, I got up at 6:30. So we were here, and I started to see. Actually, I don't need these here on the tick, on the ADD. I usually don't have them on. What you start seeing is that a trend is kind of slowing, right? And then this starts happening. So it starts slowly turning down, and you see this in price quite well here as well for once. But sometimes you see that the ADD turning down while the market is still going up. Or for example here, so it sold off. This is quite similar to the market, right? But then this one, ADD made a significant lower low, whereas the market didn't. So to me, this show that like the underlying structure of the market is weaker than the index itself. You know, the index is comprised of a certain few stocks, whereas this is kind of representing the whole market. So that could be an indicator. Okay, short the pops, or you know, like this might be weaker than it seems on this chart. So that's kind of, you know, how you can use ADD. I'll try and point out stuff when it happens a bit more, and I know Nikki is doing that too. So you guys just listen to stuff like that and ask questions if you have them. Let me see if I can find a divergence that, you know, could show nothing here. Oh, and also like ADD, there's of course the threshold, you know, like the 1500 and 1800 thresholds, which are extremes. So if ADD opens up like over here or up here, sometimes, you know, depending on context, this is an exhaustion signal. It means, you know, like, okay, we are exhausting this move. Expect, you know, like take profits if you're long, and it's the same thing with here. Take profits if you're short, but on the other hand, this can also be, you know, like a very bullish signal. Say, you know, like, I mean, if it, let's look at the daily chart real quick and see what it did. So in here, you know, it was, you know, like the day before it moved up into the exhaustion kind of area, and then here it traded all the way up there, and that was kind of the top of that recent bounce. But then on the other hand, you know, like you looked at this stuff down here, and it was just it was like, I think we had like 2000s at some points. Yeah, see, like if it's this low, I've never seen this before. This low, that's so bearish. That's like, okay, every freaking stock in the market, everyone is selling off right now. You know, like, so you can't just, they're not binary kind of signals. You have to see the context around them, and you have to kind of, you know, learn how to interpret them. But there's things that you can see out of it. Say, you know, like, just making an example here. For example, on this day, I'm not going to go into the chart, just as an example. You look at the ADD, and it makes a lower high here, but the market makes a higher high. So that could mean, okay, maybe the market's move is, you know, kind of done, because this one, the ADD itself didn't even manage to make a higher high. So stuff like that. Or perhaps this low in the market, looking at the market, might have been lower than when it sold off here, but in the ADD you see that it's actually making a higher low versus the market just, you know, like not representing it the same way. So these are kind of divergences. Say it's hard to explain, I guess, but I'm going to try to point that out more. Just look at, you know, like ADD versus the market. Is the market making a lower low while ADD isn't? That could be, you know, like a bullish signal. Same with, you know, like is the market making a higher high while ADD isn't? That could be a bearish signal. Stuff like that. Just look at it every day. Look at how it moves. You don't have to look at tick for tick. As you see, like I'm using like 5-minute, sometimes 3-minute charts for stuff like this. I'm only using the 3-minute because I want to get, like, you know, like I want to be more accurate as to when exactly hits the minus 1000. But I don't look at this all the time. I look at the general, you know, movement of it. All right, guys, this has been longer because of the lesson. I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you have more questions, let me know. I'll be around just like yesterday, the same time. The sleeping schedule is working out quite well for me. I'm dreaming again. I'm not just dead when I'm going to sleep. So I'm actually, you know, I feel like I'm seeing good effects. So might also be a suggestion for you guys. Have some rest. We've had a crazy few weeks, so take a breather. I think we are in for more. And with that, if you like the video, like the video. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Help us hack this algorithm. And I'll talk to all you guys tomorrow. Cheers.